You know, that crazy urge to fight for his attention? That silent fight you have in your head, the unhealthy jealousy that consumes you, that emotional dependence that seems like it's going to slowly drown you? Well, let's agree on one thing. This is, without a doubt, a bad idea, in toxic relationships. Betting everything on the fight for his attention not only robs you of peace, but also destroys your self-esteem. You start to wonder why you're not enough, why he seems distant, why his silence hurts more than any words. And all of this creates unnecessary suffering. You get stuck in this cycle of pressure, waiting for him to look at you, for him to recognize you're worthwhile. In reality, you're the one who loses. Have you ever felt this way? Have you ever tried to get attention only to feel even more empty? Tell me about it, because this feeling isn't unique to you, It's easy to fall into this trap of an abusive relationship, where emotional abuse isn't just about the big fights, but also the silence, the indifference, and the lack of respect. You're there trying to keep the flame alive, while he simply dims the light and ignores your efforts. But tell me, is it worth losing your peace for someone who doesn't even realize what they're doing to you? Is it really a good idea to hand over your emotional health to someone who doesn't value your efforts? This video will show you exactly why competing for his attention is a bad idea, and how this game will only sink you deeper into the silent pain. And stay until the end, because look, there will be questions that will mess with your mind. Are you willing to lose your peace for someone who doesn't even know what they lost? Have you ever stopped to think about the price you pay for competing for his attention? I'm not just talking about the emotional toll that leaves you exhausted, but the peace that slowly fades, fading away as you sit there, clinging to an expectation he may never have had. Competing for his attention means giving up your time, your humor, your energy to someone who sometimes doesn't even realize what's happening. You're there, checking your phone every few minutes, sending messages that aren't always answered, making plans he forgets, trying to catch his eye in every way possible. And you know what happens? He continues to be calm, while you become that person who screams on the inside but only cries on the outside. This isn't love. It's emotional dependence disguised as hope. And then comes the worst, unhealthy jealousy. That feeling you swear you control, but deep down it consumes your heart. You watch every like they give, every conversation they have, wondering if that other person is more interesting, if they have something you've missed. But let me tell you, something no one else has told you. Jealousy isn't proof of love, it's a sign of insecurity. And insecurity in a relationship only brings unnecessary suffering. When you're constantly vying for his attention, you're putting your happiness in his hands. It's like handing the wheel over to someone who doesn't even know where they want to go, and then complaining about the route. Have you ever seen that? Person whose mood changes just because their partner didn't respond quickly, who humiliates themselves, who diminishes their own worth in an attempt to please others. Well, maybe that's you right now. Can you relate? Comment below, because many people keep quiet and pretend everything's fine. An abusive relationship isn't just physical abuse, it's emotional abuse too. And by competing for his attention, you may be giving this form of abuse space to continue. He doesn't respect your peace, doesn't value your time, and you insist on throwing a party for crumbs of attention. Isn't it time to open your eyes? To realize that the problem isn't you, or how hard you try, but his lack of genuine interest. When you compete for his attention, you lose your autonomy. You cease to be the master of your own happiness and become a needy, insecure, and frustrated version. And why all this? To try to hold on to someone who, deep down, has already decided to leave, even if only in their mind. You're not alone. This trap is more common than you might think. The worst part is that many people think this is proof of true love, when in reality, it's a vicious cycle that will lead you into an endless emotional hole. I challenge you now, how many times have you given up your peace to be around him? How many times have you smiled when you wanted to cry just to not lose the attention he gives? And after all of this, what have you gained? Comment here because I want to know, have you realized that this fight for attention leads nowhere? That it only creates exhaustion, sadness, and a feeling of emptiness that no one deserves to feel? Let's be honest, no one deserves to be an option. No one deserves to be left waiting for scraps while someone else eats other people's attention with a knife and fork. And the cruelest part? You lose peace with the very person who should be your safe haven. So let me ask you, is it really worth fighting for attention when it could cost you your self-esteem and emotional health? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then stay with me until the end, because in part 3, I will show you how it is possible to turn this game around, regain your strength, and finally put an end to this search that only does you harm. But first, tell me, have you ever been there? Have you ever felt exhausted trying to get attention from someone who didn't care? Do you want to share your story? This is your place. Leave it in the comments, because no one should go through this alone. Have you ever stopped to imagine what your life would be like if you simply stopped fighting for his attention? If instead of wasting energy trying to keep someone who doesn't want to stay, you decided to take a stand and protect your peace? The truth is, when you stop chasing, something powerful happens. You begin to reconnect with yourself, not with the kind of value that depends on likes, messages, or constant presence, but with the kind that comes from within, from your self-esteem, from your self-love. You know that feeling of no longer needing to explain yourself, of not sitting in silence waiting for a response that never comes. That's emotional freedom. When you stop competing for attention, you create space for something you've been neglecting. Respect. The respect you deserve. The respect you've always deserved, but kept putting aside out of fear of losing him. And the most beautiful part, the peace you lost while trying to please others starts to return, and it comes back doubled, because little by little, you learn to prioritize those who genuinely want to be by your side. No games, no pressure, no drama. Have you noticed how life changes when you're no longer in alert mode? When you stop sabotaging yourself and refuse to accept emotional crumbs as if they were signs of love? That doesn't mean you're closing the door to love. Quite the opposite. It means opening the right doors, the ones that lead to healthy relationships, with someone who wants you for who you are, not for how hard you chase. And here's the truth. Change begins within. It starts the moment you say, with confidence, that your peace is worth more than any empty attention. It starts when you recognize that you deserve more, and you're no longer afraid to say enough. I know it's not easy. No one lets go of hope overnight. No one easily accepts that the other person won't give us what we expect. It hurts, but it's the kind of pain that sets you free. And do you know what comes after that? Better people. People who respect your time. People who appreciate your effort, because the universe doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to strength. You won't have to chase attention anymore, because the right people will come to you. They'll look for you. They'll choose to stay without you having to. So tell me, are you ready to take that step? To put your peace first and leave behind the struggle that's only been hurting you? If the answer is yes, then stay here with me on the Bad Idea channel. We're going to keep talking, exposing these emotional traps so many people fall into, and proving that yes, it is possible to live differently. Subscribe, because here, we don't have time for bad decisions that cost us our peace. And don't forget, your peace is your greatest asset. Protect it, always.